We all have dreams, and though life happens and occasionally veers us off the path, dreamers must unwaveringly believe in their dreams. She said it best: no matter where you are from, your dreams are valid. As Kenyans, clearly, we are not without inspiration. No matter what corner of the country we look, we can find a dreamer who took on the world to reveal the Kenyan part of the dream. The making of Barack Obama. Barack Obama was born and raised in the United States, but there is much about him that encompasses who we are as Kenyans. We can see it in the way that he dances, in the way that he mentors our children, and we see it in the way he interacts with fellow Kenyans.
Hey! Habari zenu? Wa Kenya, mpio.
Habari yako. Over the years, I've been greatly moved by the warmth and spirit, the strength and resolve of the Kenyan people. And I've been grateful for my connection to Kenya and the way you've welcomed me and my family to your beautiful country. From my father's village in Alego to bustling Nairobi. In my visits, I've seen your progress. Kenya's lifted people from poverty, built an emerging democracy and civil society, and sustained a spirit of hope in the face of great difficulty.
So much so is Obama adored in Kenya that the Kenyan market was flooded with Obama goods and memorabilia during his campaign for presidency. For example, Kenya's Senator beer was nicknamed Obama. There was even an introduction of the Obama pens that are still in the market to this day, and matatu owners decorated their vehicles with images of Obama parading their love for him all over the streets of Kenya. Barack Obama's welcoming personality mirrors Kenyan culture. He is warm, welcoming, and strong. And this is why it is easy to see why many of us relate to him and aspire to be like him. This is the story of Barack Hussein Obama, a Kenyan American who lived by the saying that some achieve great success is proof to all that others can achieve it as well. Obama never let his shortcomings define his pursuit of success. Here is his story that makes him a part of the Kenyan dream. Let us begin. Barack Obama was born in Honolulu, Hawaii in 1961. His mother, Anne, was an American, and his father, Barack Obama Sr., was a Kenyan civil servant. Barack Sr.'s father, Obama's grandfather, was polygamous. Of particular importance to Barack Obama is his grandfather's third wife, Sarah, whom the former US president called his grandmother. Sarah became the moving force in Barack Sr.'s life after his biological mother, Alma, left the family when the children were young. Barack Obama Sr. was a most intelligent young man. At a relatively young age, Barack Sr. moved to Nairobi and became a cook to missionaries. His political impulse would quickly grow, and he became involved in the country's fight for independence. While he was working in the city, he met a pair of American teachers who thought he was of exemplary potential. This encounter led him to attaining a diploma through a correspondence course. During this period, Barack Sr. applied to several U.S. colleges requesting for educational aid, and eventually, through Tom Mboya's famous airlift program, the University of Hawaii responded with the offer of a scholarship. Barack Sr. arrived in Honolulu in 1959 at the young age of 23 to study economics. It was at the university when he met Stanley Ann Dunham in a Russian class. She, like Barack Sr., was also named after her father. As much as Ann's parents were liberal-leaning, they were initially hesitant about a marriage. Barack Sr.'s own father was outrightly opposed to the marriage, and this is because Barack Sr.'s father felt that the wife and children his son left back at home would be neglected. He also doubted that his new wife would accept the ways of polygamous relationships. The details of Anne and Barack Sr.'s wedding are very limited, implying that it was done in haste. Barack Obama writes in his 1995 book, Dreams from My Father, that there is no record of a real wedding, a cake, a ring, a giving away of the bride. Indeed, no family members were in attendance, just a small civil ceremony. Unfortunately, their marriage did not last for long. Soon, Barack Sr. got an offer to study at Harvard University, and the allure of the Ivy League was too great to pass on. And so he left his family in 1962 when their son, Obama Jr., was just 1 year old. For the first few years of his life growing up, Barack Obama knew little about his father as they hardly interacted. From a young age, it was clear that he felt the absence of his father. Fortunately, he developed a strong relationship with his maternal grandparents. By 1965, his mother had remarried, and 2 years later, the family would relocate to Indonesia. They lived there for 4 years until his mother made the decision to send Obama to live with his grandparents back in Hawaii, where he would receive a better education. In 1971, on one of Barack Sr.'s visits to the US, he appealed to his ex-wife Anne to return with him to Kenya. However, she refused, understandably, as he had already remarried and sired more children, a situation which she saw to be impossible to be in. Even though Anne and Barack Sr. were separated, she frequently wrote letters to him. And so did young Barack Obama. Barack Obama was to meet his father one more time before he passed away in a tragic accident in 1982. The young Barack Obama left Hawaii to attend university at Occidental College in Los Angeles. He spent 2 years there before transferring to the prestigious Columbia University, from which he graduated in 1983. After graduation, he moved to Chicago to become a community organizer for low-income residents on the south side of the city. It was an impactful period of his life, where he learned about power, influence, and change as it related to race and poverty issues. In 1988, Obama joined Harvard Law School, and 1 year later, while interning at a law firm, he met the love of his life, Michelle Robinson. She was in charge of mentoring him at the law firm. Soon, Obama would encounter his roots of origin.
I love my brother. What can I say? You know, it's interesting that we met quite late in life. We hit it off, and yeah, he's my brother. That's why we don't do the half thing.
He came to know his Kenyan half-sister, Alma, and his half-brother, Malik Abongo, during the lead-up to his wedding in 1992. In fact, they got along so well that Malik was the best man at Obama's wedding. These encounters helped Obama to begin to understand the significance of his identity. This was very important in a society where the history of slavery had him judged based on the color of his skin. To be black meant being aware of one's powerlessness. If you so much as showed rage or anger, then society would devise a means to cage you in further. Obama was an avid reader and spent hours upon hours reading books from the library with titles of the greats such as Baldwin, Ellison, Hughes, Wright, and Du Bois. Obama read them to better understand the world that he was birthed into and the reality of the situation on the ground. That is, until his visit to Kenya. Obama's first trip to Kenya in 1987 marked the beginning of his attempt to piece together his history and gain some sense of identity. This was important to Obama as he grew up without the guidance of his own father. And so as a young man, Obama was left to face the trials of race and manhood on his own. When he visited Kenya, he was filled with a mix of emotions. One lady at the airport terminal, Miss Omoro, recognized his name and even apologized to Barack Obama for the passing of his father. This sense of belonging pulsed even harder when he met his sister Alma, waiting for him at the arrivals gate of the airport. This awakened something in him that had never happened before, not in Indonesia, not in Hawaii, Chicago, Los Angeles, or even New York. One can only describe it as comfort, assured by the identity that his name provided, knowing that it carried the history of a generation of memories. Obama's journey home to the village of Kogelo near Lake Victoria was not one of luxury. When he arrived at Jomo Kenyatta Airport, the airline had lost his luggage. He would then have to drive around the country in a beat-up Volkswagen Beetle that would often stall in the middle of the road until they got help from Jua Kali mechanics. Only then would it get moving once again. His simple meal was ugali and skuma like regular Kenyans because that is what his sister could afford. It was on this visit that Barack Obama describes how he used to drift through the streets of Nairobi. He visited slums and went out to drink and dance. He also had deep and meaningful conversations with his family members. His first agenda was to trace the life and journey of his father. In order to be seen, it was important for him to discover his heritage. He learned that his father had previously been involved in a car accident which resulted in the death of another man. The accident, which put Barack Sr. in hospital for a year, had cost him his legs. Thereafter, he walked with the use of a cane, which impacted him both physically as well as emotionally. Obama also came to learn the political problems with the ruling party had cost his father his job. With that background, poverty and acute alcoholism followed. He recalls one time when he read a letter from his father. "Dear son, it was such a pleasant surprise to hear from you after so long. I am fine and doing all those things which you know are expected of me in this country. I just came back from London, where I was attending to government business, negotiating finances, etc. In fact, it is because of too much travel that I rarely write to you. In any case, I think I shall do better from now on. You will be pleased to know that all your brothers and sisters here are fine, and they do send their greetings. Like me, they approve of your decision to come home after graduation. When you come, we shall together decide on how long you may wish to stay. Barry, even if it is only for a few days, the important thing is that you know your people and also that you know where you belong. Please look after yourself, and say hello to your mum, Tutu and Stanley. I hope to hear from you soon. Love, Dad. Reading this letter, Barack Obama could feel his father's calm persona. The message was clear. Know where you belong. This statement had haunted him all his years growing up. 2 years before graduation, he had not known what to do with his life. As much as it pained him then, he knew it was too late to claim Africa as his home. He came to understand himself as a Black American whose ties were not anchored by a place but by a community. And this was his second agenda, to find out where he belongs. He did so with a trip into Nairobi town, with no particular destination in mind. This allowed him to find himself. He took in the architecture, the street names, and the different faces walking about town. He sat down with a necklace vendor and listened to her stories about her business. She soon found out that this American Muzungu was in fact a Luo. He was no longer an outsider. He was a Kenyan. He belonged. Together, they finished their sodas as he paid for the necklace. As they parted ways, Obama wished he could have hung onto that moment for just a while longer. Obama used his time in Kenya to connect with his family and his father's home. When told by one of Alma's friends, "Don't get lost," Barack Obama took it literally and thought he was genuinely going to get lost. When Alma explained to him what she actually meant, he realized that it was simply a way of saying it's been a while since we last saw each other. Even still, the small gesture confirmed what Obama was feeling, that he was home. Obama came home once again in 2006, but this time he was not a young man trying to trace back his roots. He was now an American senator, coming to interact with his family and find solutions to Kenyan problems. During this visit, Senator Obama was greeted with great fanfare and a warm welcome. He could move around relatively freely from the city to villages, mixing with the large crowds that came to see him from far and wide. On this visit, he went to pay his respects at his father's grave, as well as visit his grandmother's tin-roofed house. Barack Obama also went down to Kibera, where he met the residents and listened to their stories and their problems. "I love all of you, my brothers, all of you, my sisters," Obama told a crowd in Kibera. "I want to make sure everybody in America knows Kibera. That's why we have all the news crews around." He then promised the crowd that he would use his platform to push the US and Kenyan governments to help improve their deplorable conditions. The year following Obama's visit to Kenya in 2006, he would take the world by storm. Obama made public his decision to run for president of the United States.
In the shadow of the old state capitol, where Lincoln once called on a house divided to stand together, where common hopes and common dreams still live, I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America.
A black man whose middle name is Hussein and who had a Kenyan father was running to be president in a country built by black slaves. It was as impossible as it sounds. And during his campaign, he would inspire the downtrodden, the forgotten, and the neglected to believe that anything is possible. His slogan summed it all up: "Yes, we can."
Yes, we can! Yes, we
In 2008, Obama defeated John McCain to become the 44th President of the United States. His victory was not only an American achievement, but also a Kenyan one. His two worlds collided. On the day of his victory, President Mwai Kibaki, understanding the momentous occasion, announced a public holiday for the people of Kenya.
President Mwai Kibaki has declared tomorrow a public holiday so that we can celebrate as a nation the victory of one who shares our heritage. Although he is an American, Obama's victory has made us even prouder to be Kenyan and earned us respect all over the world.
The next visit by Obama was an even more momentous occasion. He was not returning home as a man tracing his roots or an up-and-coming senator. This time, he was visiting as the first American sitting president to visit Kenya.
Habari, the people of Kenya, thank you for the extraordinary welcome that you've given me and for the same kindness that you've shown me since my first visit to Kenya nearly 30 years ago. I'm proud to return as the first U.S. president to ever visit Kenya while still in office. I need to give a special acknowledgement to everybody in Alego and
Obama's latest return in 2015 was full of powerful symbolism. It came with commitments to strengthen economic development and trade agreements between Kenya and the United States, combating the Al-Shabaab threat in the region and reinforcing the geopolitical relationships between the two nations. His return showed just how important Kenya was to Obama, not just symbolically, but economically and politically as well. To a full arena in Kasarani Stadium, thousands listened to his words and were deeply inspired as he challenged them to take the fate of their country into their own hands.
I love Kenya because you feel you are home anywhere you go. Home anywhere you go. That's the Kenya that welcomed me nearly 30 years ago as a young man. You helped make me feel at home, and standing here today as President of the United States, when I think about those young people and all the young people in attendance here, you still make me feel at home. And I'm confident that your future is going to be written across this country and across this continent by young people like you. Young men and women who don't have to struggle under a colonial power, who don't have to look overseas to realize your dreams. Yes, you can realize your dreams right here, right now. We have not inherited this land from our forebears, we have borrowed it from our children. So now's the time for us to do the hard work of living up to that inheritance, of building a Kenya where the inherent dignity of every person is respected and protected, and there's no limit to what a child can achieve. I am here to tell you that the United States of America will be a partner for you every step of the way. God bless you. Thank you. Asante sana.
Obama represents more than just a Kenyan name. He represents the breaking of racial barriers and the ability to achieve your dreams, no matter the obstacles. For many Kenyans, Obama's presidency opened the US and with it, the world to Africa. James Mwangi best reflected the views of Kenyans when he said,
It was a big moment for Africa. One, it reflected acceptance that the barriers that may have been perceived to do with race and all that is behind us. The second one, it demonstrated that the world now acknowledge and recognize capability and ability beyond where one comes from. And it was a great moment for the continent because it demonstrated that the world, the universe is open to Africa. The acceptance is there, and that race, color has no place in the modern world.
And so, fellow Kenyans, we must ask the question. If human beings ask the right questions of life, and if we pursue the deep longings of the heart, can we succeed? Well, Barack Obama said it best. Yes, we can. His success makes him the Kenyan part of the dream.